Welcome back to another episode of Reverse Engineered. The time has finally come to get the car off the frame machine and to start reassembling all those engine parts that we took off. Also, it's time for us to put the front end back together.
The first step that we're doing right now, boys.
We're gonna get the wheels on.
Get the wheels on, jack it up, place on stands, and remove this frame machine out. Wheels are up. Now we have to use some jacks and lift up the car a little bit and remove all these clamps from here. We got quite a few bolts to take off on both sides, the passenger and the driver's side. Once that's done, the ram will come out. There you go, folks, the frame machine is up. Daniel, please explain what's the next step.
It's time to move on to the intake manifold and this little cover over here and this fuse box and anything else that may be damaged, like this brake booster as well.
But before we do that, we have to take off this reinforcement bar so we gain space here on the engine. Let me give you a closer view on the brake booster here. You got a ding here. We gotta change it because it's losing air. We also have to remove some plastic that fell here into these valve ports.
I'm gonna use these tools to get some of the plastic out from the intake manifold that fell on here. We don't want that in the engine.
That fell into the ports onto the valves.
Here's one.
Now I got most of the engine components installed. I got the AC compressor, the throttle body, intake manifold, and before I install any of the radiators and all that good stuff, I want to jump onto this brake booster pump and get that changed because I've got plenty of space right now and I don't want to cramp the space up with all the radiators and all of the other stuff. And once I get that changed, we'll go from there and get this car reassembled. I want to take this master cylinder off first before I take this booster pump off. And before you can get this up, you have to disconnect quite a few lines here and drain out the brake fluid. Out with the old and in with the new. Perfect, now I have to go inside the car and tighten out the bolts. Due to lack of space, I was not able to film inside the car the way I removed this. It was really crammed up behind the steering column. But the way I did it is I use a long needle nose plier. I pressed these two clips here, and once that happened, I was able to slide it through the brake pedal and this connection here that it has on the brake booster, and that's how I got it out. I'm going to loosen up all these nuts here, then I'm gonna get the drill and get them out that way because it's faster. Work efficiently, not harder. I ended up cutting off most of the wires because most of the copper was showing here on some of the wires, and I cut them off because I don't want any corrosion to happen here in the future. And so we'll just replace it back with this one, and the way it's going to be done, we'll solder back all of these wires that are cut off here and put these ones, plug them in the socket. The way this shrink tube works, it has solder here in the middle, and as we start heating this up, that starts to melt and the tube shrinks on the wire. Finally done with this. Now we can start moving on to that fuse box and get that one fixed. I'm gonna push this back here. Did you hear that click? Here, I'll do it again. In order to take these pins out, this needs to be pushed this way. It has some locking mechanism inside, and once done, I push this back so it stays locked in place so these wires don't come out. Now we have to tape this back, put some tape on here, and we are good to go. Look at that, look how beautiful it looks. We fixed this one here, this one, and taped all the wirings back together, and now we have to move on to the fuse box and get that done. We've got quite a bunch of wires here that we have to unplug. We are going to unplug all of them and plug them into the new fuse box that we got, and also fix the ones that are broken. Where's the new box that we got?
Right behind you.
Here it is. We'll take the bottom off, unplug all the wires from this one, and plug it into the new one. Let's get it done, son! The time has come to finally start working on this fuse box. We are first gonna work on this one and remove all the relays and the fuses. Once we get that done, we'll jump back on the other one and unplug all the wires one by one. These are all the wires that are gonna stay and they don't need to come out. These are just bridges, and all of this operation took about 42 minutes. Let's take a break and then we'll start back on the car. Man, I'm exhausted from that alone. What about you, John?
Same here.
Yeah, let's take a break then we'll get back at it.
We are back fully refreshed to face this head on.
This is what we got, boys. Sausage pizza looks pretty good and it tastes even better than it looks. The wiring is completely done. We have taken our time into making sure we didn't mismatch any wires and plug everything back where they're supposed to be in their position. Now we still have to attach this back cover and front cover, but before we attach the front cover we have to put back these plastic supports that go here, and after we place these back in their position we can put back the fuses and relays. And once that's done we might give this car a start and see how it sounds. We also gotta change the hood latch cable. We got a new one here, and the one that we're changing right now, it's broken here, so it's not good anymore.
It's like broken all over the place. You just gotta pull it harder, because it has those,
Got it.
yeah.
I got it this time.
Went to the dealership earlier today. We got some the hood release cable, the upper side cover, the lower cover of this fuse box, because the one we had, it was broken. So we had to replace all of them.
It's time to start the car, and we'll do it old school style with rock, paper, scissors battle. Let's go, boys. Let's see who wins. Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh no, rock, paper, scissors. Oh,
John wins.
John, you won, man. Give him the keys and go and start the
Keys
car.
to the kingdom.
It's okay, you get to keep the car, John.
Here, let's plug this in first. Hook it up to the jumper.
That is it. So,
Get it now.
John.
Good boy.
moment of truth.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the sound. There you go.